Hi there, welcome to Homekeepers. Won't you just grab yourself a cup of tea and join us? So good to be here today, and wonderful to have you wherever you're joining us from, because we're all over the United States and beyond. In fact, we've received mail from Kenya and some of the Middle East countries and all, and it's wonderful. I thank God for television. I think that it was all created to get the gospel out, and that's what we're trying to do. So welcome, welcome. If you're new, we'd love to just give you a good hug, but can't do that. And welcome all you regular people. We really do appreciate you. We're continuing today with Dr. William Rice, who is the lead pastor at Calvary Church in Clearwater, Florida. And we were talking about the 4th chapter of 2 Timothy, where Paul is just about ready. He's going to be executed, actually, and he's preparing those last moment things and some instructions and so forth, because he knows he's going to go meet the Lord. And the applications from these scriptures are unending. But the one today, I really hope you'll sit down and listen to it, because it has everything to do with homekeepers. What could be greater than to take your family with you to heaven? I don't know anything better than that. So I hope you'll listen to every word that Dr. Rice has to say today, and really take it to heart. It's probably been a long time since you've heard a sermon on heaven or hell or the rapture or any of those things, but they're still in the Bible, and it's our duty to be ready for them. I'm going to join Stephanie. We're going to make Nachos Grandes. I took 1 semester of Spanish, so that's as good as I can do, but they look awfully good and kind of easy to make, so we'll show you how to do that. After I tell you again about the 12-month guide to better prayer, this book is written by the stalwarts of the faith, and I don't know how you could find a better group of authors than E.M. Bounds and Spurgeon, Madame Guyon, Matthew Henry, Andrew Murray. I've read a whole book by E.M. Bounds just on the subject of prayer. It's exhaustless, and there's really some detail in prayer, and it's all lined out here. Maybe your prayers can be a whole lot better, a whole lot more effective. So we're offering you this book for any amount. You can use your credit card with that 800 number, 1-800-229-0059, or the address is Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758, and we will get it right out to you. A very beneficial book for your Christian walk, and also we appreciate anything that you can give us to keep this program on the air. Okay, I've joined Stephanie. You've joined me, really.
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. You have told me kind of like, no more taco recipes.
And what do we do? Okay, we won't do tacos, we'll do nachos.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's probably quite a variety of ways we could do those.
Although I love this because I like to just take something average and kick it up a notch and make it at home. Mm-hmm. And I make nachos at home, but I don't put in kidney beans. Mm-hmm. So I think from now on I might add kidney beans.
And
so
they're good for you.
This just gives you ideas to take normal things and kick it up a notch, because it's boring having the same old stuff all the time. Just ask my family. Yeah.
I don't know. That everything I hear about you, you're pretty much hands-on to do the best by your family, and
I try, but sometimes you get in cooking ruts. You know, you just get stuck, and I was there for a while, so I'm trying.
So are you out of it now?
I think I'm out of it now, yeah.
I hope I've helped you.
Oh, you've helped me tremendously.
Give you some quick recipes.
Yes.
Well, this is turkey.
This is turkey. Don't get it, don't understand it, but
it's ground
Arthelene
turkey.
Show, so we're cooking with it.
And it's a half a pound. It's not much.
No, it's not much at all. Quarter
pound.
Yeah, but you know, it depends on how many people you're feeding, yeah, and how many nachos you want to make. So that's a quarter pound. I have a cup of red kidney beans I'm going to put in here.
That's a good addition, because those are good for you.
And I have taco seasoning, which I make my own at home, so it doesn't have all the preservatives. So just Google homemade taco seasoning. It has maybe 5 ingredients.
Is yours a lot better than?
It tastes just like this.
Does it?
It just doesn't have all the preservatives that are in it. Yeah. So that was 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning, a cup of red kidney beans, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of water in here because there was no moisture in there whatsoever. And then this is tomatoes with the green chili, so that's gonna add another kick.
And it also has, you're also supposed to put jalapeno peppers in it, but I don't like them, so I didn't buy any.
It's Arthelene Rippy's show.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't like it, we're not eating it.
No, I'm not into that much heat, really.
So you're supposed to saute this a little while, but we don't have all day. So I'm going to put those go on later.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a can of diced tomatoes with the red chili or the green chilies in there. So that'll add a nice little.
And they cook a very, very short amount of time, so
it's super simple dinner.
You can see how quick you can do this.
For
the kids will love it.
NASCAR parties, football parties, baseball parties, something quick in the evening. Kids would, are you kidding? This would be like a kid's.
This would be a great meal. Just fix yourself a salad.
And it's, or you can just put lettuce and tomatoes over the top and
you got
have
the
your
whole
salad
thing.
on it. Yeah.
Got the whole thing.
Yeah, and this is turkey, so it's healthy.
Yep.
Okay, so I just heat this up a little bit. We have put aluminum foil on the pan. Do yourself a favor.
And spray them.
And spray it. And then you're just going to pour the nachos out. And
you don't have to wash your pan.
That's my plan. I love aluminum foil. Yeah.
You know, I grew up with home ec.
Yes,
school.
I had it
There
too.
were stoves in the
Yes,
classroom.
I had it.
And we did things from scratch. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of great shortcuts today.
Yes.
Great. You might as well take
I had
advantage
home
of
ec,
them.
and I had metal shop, and I had wood shop.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Well, when are you going to give us a little demonstration?
Well, wood, I mean, but okay, so pour this over.
I think everyone should take auto shop or.
I think at least change a tire and know how to check your oil and all that.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Okay, so you
Oh,
pour
that looks so good.
right? And then you take cheese.
And I think it only bakes like 5 minutes.
Right, you're just melting everything. And then if you would like to put olives, you could.
Yeah. I don't do the pepper. She doesn't do the olives.
Okay, so here. Oh wait, you need a little sour cream. Do a little dip there.
Oh, they're delicious.
I know, right? Let's see.
Hey, we did another good one.
It's always a surprise.
Because this is the one show, if they're not good, we tell you. These are wonderful.
Even turkey.
I think bake 5 minutes. We're going to make everybody in this building happy. Okay?
Yummy.
Now you're going to hear the second part, my conversation with Dr. William Rice. Pay attention. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful message.
If you would like a copy of today's recipe, you may receive it by contacting us through social media as listed on the screen. When requesting a copy through the mail, be sure to include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Thank you, and please know we always appreciate hearing from our viewers.
Well, we're going to continue where we left off on the last program, and we were talking about, for the most of it, hopefully people will get their head into eternity a little bit more than they have been.
Living in light of eternity, yeah.
But what could be greater than taking your family with you to heaven? That is
Right.
That is what's so important.
Well, we live forever. And if we believe the Bible, if we believe the message of Jesus, if we take it seriously, there's a heaven and there's a hell. You're going to live eternity in the presence of God, or you're going to live eternity apart from God. And we may not like to talk about it as much anymore, but we should be talking about it because Jesus believed in heaven, Jesus believed in hell,
in hell,
and He wanted us to be able to spend an eternity with God in heaven.
And so many of those things have been watered down, but the Bible hasn't
really
changed
have.
at all.
They really have, yeah.
And on the last program, we ended up talking about what I call church life. And most churches, evangelical churches, they offer maybe still Sunday school, youth groups, VBS. I think that's a big one. And that's a rough week, especially for the VBS workers. And maybe it's hard to get your kid there every day, but that's a real jump start. They're getting 5 days usually of good biblical training.
Right. Camps, youth camps, all those kinds of things, yeah. And we've seen a huge shift in the culture. And any pastor or church leader that's listening to this knows what I'm about to say, and your families may sense it. When I was younger, we would go to church. If your family were involved in church, you're a Christian family involved in church, We went, and you could probably answer this the same way. I mean, how many times do you go in a week? 3, 4 times.
Oh, when I was young, real young, it was more than that. But,
Yeah, exactly. We used to say, I saw a study recently, a committed family 20, 30 years ago would go to church 3 times a week. We had Sunday morning, sometimes we had Sunday night, we had midweek services, we had other things. A committed family today, according to one study I saw, may come 3 times a month. 3 times a month. And I'm not sure it's less than that. We have people, you know, they'll just come once every, you know, in between other activities.
if it's convenient, maybe.
And I'm glad you're there. I'm not fussing at anyone. I'm glad they're there. But you know, the truth is, let's just talk the truth here. We may make somebody a little irritated, but you're not getting your family, your kids, exposed to the gospel by simply checking into church every once in a while. Discipleship and learning to follow Christ. The Bible says in Acts 2 that the early followers of Jesus were devoted to the apostles' teaching, to fellowship, breaking bread, and prayer.
Right.
Devoted means you lean in. It means you're committed to it. Devoted isn't once in a while when it's convenient. And we've seen so many Christians in our culture who are no longer devoted to the disciplines of fellowshipping, going to church, learning the Bible. I realize following Jesus is more than that, but it isn't less than that. It involves attending, fellowshipping, learning, and growing. And we've got many families, sadly, that have checked out.
Yes, and the children suffer for it.
They really do.
I've had an interesting situation on Facebook just in the last few weeks, connecting because I used to do these big productions at Bayfront, and Greg, Tony, and I are worn out.
Yes.
I just think about it and I just get tired. But I connected with these young people who played their trumpets, and they sang. Some of them are grandparents now. But you know what they say? Remember being in the story of Jesus. Like it was one of the highlights of their life.
We sing in youth choirs.
Yes.
We did all kinds of things.
And so you're really robbing the children. Now, America is bowing down to the altar of sports, and they start very young. I had a grandson. They all got a trophy.
Yep.
I mean, they lost a lot of games, but they still got trophies. And we're kind of an insane element in it. And I think Christian parents are going to have to weigh those priorities.
Well, you hit on a pretty big topic there, and I've waded into it a couple times myself.
Did you get in trouble?
Oh, you know, you get a few folks jumpy. I'm a huge sport fan, just for the record. I love sports. I love ball. I'm probably too crazy about it at times. But I don't know of a single bigger competitor to a church life, what you refer to as church life, today than sports. It's gone away from playing sports in your school or at a local little league. What is known as club ball. People get involved in that, and it's weekend tournaments. And again, I love sports. I love athletics. But I have seen families literally check out of church for months, and in some cases, years. And here's the deal. I would say this to every parent. They're not going to want to hear this, but I'm going to say it. You're going to let me say it, I'm going to say it.
Absolutely.
There is a very low chance your child will ever make a dime playing sports. It's almost zero. Most of them won't get a scholarship playing sports. Very few of them will. But your children are going to spend eternity somewhere. And if you check out of being a gospel-centered Christian family to chase a ball around the field for a couple of years, you're going to wake up when chasing that ball around is done, and you're going to have a 20-year-old atheist living in your house who has concluded there is nothing to Christianity, there is nothing to God. And you know why? Because they saw your family every single Sunday, and they saw you preaching a sermon that said, there's no such thing as God. And you did it every time you checked out of going to church.
Not important.
That you said it.
Not important.
Your actions speak louder than your words.
I think
that's
a lot
the
of
preacher in me coming
Well,
out.
I think
That's
a lot
all
of
right.
people need to. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people need to think about that.
I think they do.
And I mean priorities in general. Going around the internet, there's supposedly all these flowery things that Steve Jobs said before he died, but I checked it out. They don't seem to be accurate. This one I do believe because it was spoken at his funeral. And Steve Jobs, how do you attain more than he did
Right.
in this world? He said, having kids is 10,000 times better than anything I've ever done.
Wow. Wow.
Do you think that's a message to the fathers? Because I see in some of our urban areas, they want the government to go in, blah, 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 and do this and pour money into it, and that's fine with me, but there's a father deficit there.
Well, there is. And that father deficit, no government can make up for that.
Right.
You know, I've done a lot of funerals. We're talking about eternity, living the light of eternity. Every pastor does. You've been to a lot. I've performed many. And at the end of the day, I can tell you what matters, because I'm the guy they ask to stand up and say something. And I don't spend much time talking about your bank account. Almost never.
Probably never.
I spend very little time talking about your resume. I mean, if you're Steve Jobs or somebody like that, you might talk about some of the companies they built. But at the very end, I can tell you what matters for you, what matters for me, what's going to matter for everybody. It's relationships. It's a relationship with God, and it's a relationship with your family and close friends. And I think the way to live life wisely is to go to the end and ask yourself, imagine your funeral, and ask yourself what matters on that day. And then to come back to today and say, you know what, I'm going to live for what matters on that day.
Need to make some adjustments.
And you're going to have to make adjustments in your schedule, your priorities. But if you will live today for what matters on the day of eternity, then you will live very wisely indeed.
Going back to the Apostle Paul and his last words to Timothy and the urgency, please come before winter, and we talked about that on the last program, but we don't know if he ever got there, do we?
We don't. You know, when I teach that text, I love to sometimes end by wondering, did he come or not? Because we all like to read it and go, oh, of course he came, but he was a long way away. Ephesus is a long way from Rome. It would have taken many days to travel. He was pastoring in a major city. It would have been very inconvenient to drop everything, to change schedules and to go. So who knows if he went? I'd like to think he did. You'd like to think he did. But I've often wondered, maybe he said, hey, I can't go right now. Maybe I'll get around to it. I don't think he did, but what if he did? I don't know.
Do you think God wanted us to not know?
Yeah, maybe so, because it kind of leaves an open-ended question. You know, what are you going to do? Are you going to do today what you must do while you have the time? Because winter's going to come. It's going to come for you. It's going to come for me. And we don't always know when it's going to come. We all like to think we're going to live a long life and you know 2 or 3 weeks before we're going to die, or just die, you know, at a time that we think is the right time. The truth is, we don't know when winter's coming. It is coming, though. That we know. Therefore, we need to do what we can while we have the chance.
Yes, and I appreciate your emphasis on this. I don't think we mentioned on this program that you preach from this text every year.
Yeah.
Toward the end of the year.
Usually right around the late fall, Thanksgiving, before the holidays. I you know, just every year I'll pull out 2 Timothy 4. It's kind of become something our people look forward to. And it's, you know, you bring in some new stories maybe or so forth, but it's just a reminder. Hey, the end of the year's coming, when I usually share this. And the end of the year's coming, another year's passing. You've only got so many of these. What do you need to do before winter comes?
It's a message that constantly needs to be a reminder to believers. Do you ever sit and wonder what it's really like in heaven? Barbara Streisand sang a song, Here's to the Ladies Who Lunch. I don't know if men like to go to lunch as much as we do.
Well, we go to eat mostly, yeah.
If I could have lunch in heaven, it would be with the Apostle Paul and Dietrich Bonhoeffer. Those are two of them. But won't it be wonderful to have these questions answered?
Oh, I think so. You know, the Bible talks about we see now in part, then we will, I love the phrase, we will know and we will be fully known. We will know fully as we are fully known. And, you know, I don't know that there's going to be a moment where we have to bring our questions to the Lord. I think when we stand in His presence and we're fully known, we will also know fully. So it's a joy. Christians do need to think about eternity. We almost disparaged in a generation, you know, the preachers who spent too much time talking about heaven or the hellfire and damnation. And I get it, it can, we do need practical insight for daily living. I get that.
Yeah.
But there's a balance. We need to keep eternity in mind always so that we can live wisely and properly today.
Yeah, Jonathan Edwards had a sermon that's still popular. Was it?
Sinners in the hand of an
And
angry
angry God, yeah.
was one of the things God used to fuel revival. There is a very real need for us to think about eternity.
There's another important, such an important part of our living in preparation for when we're gone, and that's forgiveness. Boy, people have carried bitterness to their
Right.
grave, and it's not worth it.
Right, and it's one of the things you talk about. What do you do while you have the chance?
Yeah.
And I usually in that message talk about the healing of relationships, because I've talked to many people as a pastor, and you have too, Arthelene, just in your role, who have carried bitterness and unforgiveness, and eventually winter is going to come. That person is going to go, or something's going to happen, and the opportunity to offer forgiveness, to extend forgiveness, will be gone. And then you'll live with that regret. You can't change another person. I get that. But you can do what you can do. And I always challenge people every year, if there's something you're carrying around in your heart, make this the moment, make this the motivation, write the letter, make the call, take the visit.
Yes.
At least you will know, I did everything I could do. And I have seen, I wish I had time to tell you the stories, I've seen so many stories. Almost every year, Arthelene, I hear people come back and say, I hadn't talked to my sister in 12 years. I hadn't seen my son in a decade. I wrote a letter, I made the call, and God healed that relationship. And it's one of the great testimonies that come out of this.
It's like losing 100 pounds. You know, I was really put to the test on this because the Holy Spirit impressed me and impressed me and impressed me. I tried to make it go away and would to ask forgiveness for people who had wronged me.
Wow.
And so I reminded the Lord of the situation in case he'd forgotten it. And he said, oh, I know all that, but I see your heart.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wouldn't do it for 2 years.
Wow.
And I was driving to my office one day, and I was minister of music in a church, and the Holy Spirit spoke, says, do it today or you're taking a step away.
Wow.
Boy, that scared me. I went in my office shaking, and I made it right. And I would say don't wait 2 years like I did.
Yeah.
It puts you in a kind of a spiritual holding pattern because it's so much
Right. You're
the
quenching the
intricacies
spirit.
of the gospel.
The essence of the gospel is forgiveness. It's part of our faith that we have been forgiven, therefore we must forgive. And if someone's carrying around that burden, and there's probably somebody watching this program that has something has happened in their family or with a friendship. And I understand you can't go back and solve every problem.
Right.
But you can make a phone call. You can write a letter. You can say, you know what, I love you. I'm sorry for what's happened. Please forgive any offense. Please forgive. If you know what that offense is, name it. Don't give it one of these non-apologies. Say, I'm sorry. And you know what? God will use that. I can't tell you how many stories. If we will just get off our high horse of pride, how often God will send a breakthrough in our life.
And leave the word if out. If I've offended you.
Because right. You know, tell them what it is. Say, I know I have, and I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And God has a way of just using that humility to just bring healing. There are relationships I know need to be healed who are watching this program right now.
Right, and I just can't encourage people enough that it pays. You know what it? Do you know what it taught me? I don't ever want to do that again.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't some spiritual revelation. I don't want to ever do that again. So if you offend me, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to. I'm not going to let it in there.
No, you said it's like dropping 100 pounds. You're carrying. It isn't going to make. It isn't going to hurt the person you're angry at.
No.
It's going to make you sick. Bitterness is one of the things I think that makes people sick, gives them stress, spiritual bondage.
Right.
I think one of the greatest demonic strongholds in our life is bitterness and unforgiveness to those who have offended us. And the heart of our faith is to let it go, to offer forgiveness, and trust the Lord.
I just felt this was so important, and I thank you for
It's
coming.
always a joy to come by.
I'm reminded right now, I usually think in musical terms of Stuart Hamblen wrote, "The things of earth will dim and lose their value if we recall they're borrowed for a while."
Wow.
and things of earth that cause the heart to tremble, remembered there, will only bring a smile.
Wow.
But until then, and
great song.
yes, if we could just, as we talked more, I think, on the program yesterday, was live your life now with eternity.
Right.
It's what I'm doing eternal.
You and I we're gonna die. We all know that. We don't like to talk about it. We're gonna stand before God one day. We're either gonna die or the Lord's gonna come. Eternity is a real thing. It's going to happen, and we need to think about it. We need to be ready for it. We need to understand it is part of what it means to follow Jesus, and it has huge impacts on how we live our life today.
Great stuff.
Oh,
Thank you for being with us.
Always.
Always enjoy having you. Stay with me. I have a couple things to say before we say goodbye.
Arthelene would like you to keep the following information handy. You may contact Homekeepers by writing to Homekeepers, P.O. Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758, or go to www.rippy.org. Remember, we always enjoy hearing from our viewers, and we thank you for your support.
Again, I want to offer you the book, A 12-Month Guide to Better Prayer. It's written by some of the greatest people in the history of Christianity, and it can really make a difference in your own life toward the Lord. It's available to you for any amount, any gift, to keep Homekeepers on the air. You can use your credit card. There's a number on the screen for that, and also an address. I really want to thank Pastor Rice for taking time out of a very busy schedule to be with us to talk about some of the most important things that we will ever think about. And we've just gotten way too busy. But it doesn't change this at all. The Bible still says it's appointed unto man once to die. We all have that appointment. And that's what we should be getting ready for all the time, especially, as he pointed out, in relationships. That's very much what Christianity is all about. Relationships, relationship with God, relationship with others. I hope you'll think about the things that were said on these two programs, and I do hope you'll join me next time, friend, remembering there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.